Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be sewing my shirt dress. This would be a grasping dress and I think it's a pretty versatile dress to wear for different occasions. This dress provides a comfortable fit since it's shirred and the sizing is also forgiving. It has small puff sleeve that give it a cute look. This pattern comes with different length options. In this video, I am making a top version, but you can also turn this pattern into a dress. Here I'm using a woven cotton fabrics. Light and medium weight woven fabrics with no stretch are recommended for this pattern. Also notice how my fabrics has light lines stitched into the fabrics. I can use these lines to help my shirring. If you don't have lines in your fabrics, which most of you won't, you will need to trace lines for your shirring. On the pattern, I have guidelines for you to trace shirring lines onto the fabrics, but feel free to adjust the lines if you want your stitch to be more spread out or closer together. For your lining fabric, I recommend using your main fabric as well. I'm using a white cotton fabric here for the video mainly because I want you to see the difference between the two fabrics while I'm filming. Lace tape will be used as an accent for my sample dress. On this top, I will use the ribbon tape to stitch a bow to the center of the neckline and paste the ruche on top. Elastic thread is needed for the shirring on the dress. I will use this elastic band for the armholes, shoulder, neckline, and under bust. Okay, so enough talk, let's get right into sewing. Here are all the pattern pieces cut out. Here we have the lower torso piece. This is the upper torso front piece. This is the upper torso back piece. And this is the shoulder piece. On the lower torso piece, fold the fabric in half so the right sides are facing each other and stitch the open side. Do this for both the main fabric and the lining fabric. If you have an overlock machine, you can use the overlock machine to stitch and overlock at the same time. If you don't have an overlock machine, you can stitch the fabric with your sewing machine. Next, we are going to connect the upper torso front and back pieces together along the sides. Do this for both the main fabric and lining. Next, I'm going to stitch the armhole together. Make sure the right sides of the top are facing each other. After we stitch the armhole, flip the fabric so that the right sides are facing outwards. Align the pieces as I'm doing in the video, with the right sides of the pieces facing each other. Stitch to connect the bodice. Also here, I will overlock the neckline seam in order to clean the seam. If you don't have an overlock machine, you can skip this step. Now I'm going to add my lace tape to the neckline. Now we are going to stitch elastic bands to the front neckline and the back neckline of the lining. I'm going to measure and cut my elastic. The length of the elastic band needed is printed on the pattern and in the instructions. Notice as I sew, I'm pulling on the elastic band to add tensions to the band in order to start the shirring process on the neckline. Depending on how stitchy your elastic tape is, you may have a little extra tape left over. Every elastic tape has a different stitchiness, so don't mind the excess leftover tape. If you have extra elastic tape after stitching the neckline, just trim the excess tape. Stitch a continuous piece of elastic tape at the bottom of the underbust. The length of the elastic tape needed for each side is written on the pattern and the instructions. Okay, now it's time to start the shirring. Load the elastic thread into your bobbin. To create the shirr, we will need to make sure that the stitching will create a scrunch effect on the fabric. In order to do this, we will need to adjust some setting in our setup. Adjust the notch on your bobbin case, the thread tension knob on your machine if you have one, and the stitch length dial on your machine. For my top here, I wanted a little gathered shirr, so I increased the tensions on the tension knob. Increase the stitch length dial to the longest setting, which is 5 on my machine, and turn the notch on my bobbin case 1 full revolution. The adjustments to each of your settings will depend on your machine and equipment, and could be different from my settings. Pair out with your settings and test them on some sample fabrics to achieve your desired gather. So back and forth on the smock, creating parallel lines. I had about 1 centimeter of spacings between my lines. My smock took me about 1 hour to complete. After you finish shirring, you no longer need elastic thread in your machine. So load the normal thread back and switch back all your machine settings. Now let's iron the gathered fabric. This will help shrink the elastic thread and increase the gathering effect on the bodice. I'm going to overlock the edges of the shoulder piece in order to clean the slip seams. Or you can hem or finish the seam however you like. Stitch the elastic tape onto the top and the bottom edges of the shoulder pieces. The length of the elastic tape you should be using for this step can be found in the instructions and the pattern piece. Pin and stitch the shoulder straps onto the bodice in order to connect the straps. Right now, I'm going to finish my top off by adding a ribbon bow to the center and putting a cute rose on top of the bow. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for this top. For the hem on the bottom, I did a roll hem using my suture machine, but you can also finish it with a normal hem, adding lace tape or however you want. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. If you like how your top came out, you can use this pattern to make a shirt dress as well. Enjoy your new shirt top and see you in the next one.